You know, I am actually really curious who takes the time to watch The View. There are people, real people in this world who actually pay money to go listen to these women speak. Not only that, there are people who turn on their televisions and their phones to hear what these enlightened women have to bestow upon us. And I'm just really curious how many of you actually enjoy the show and watch it. I would love to have somebody on to explain to me the enlightening that these women are bringing to the rest of the world and how I'm just too blind to see it. Now, this is all just a setup because we have on the View the discussion about Elon Musk buying Twitter for billions of dollars. And this is a real thing that has really been said on the View, and we got to talk about it. So let's get this up here. I'm sorry to ruin y'all day, but as always, they never let us down.
Loves free speech too, don't we? So why are conservatives so excited over Musk taking over? Sonny?
If the left loves free speech just as much as the right loves free speech, then please explain to me why, please, for a second, why it is that many of the Democratic politicians have called for more restrictions on social media, which means restricting freedom of speech.
Oh, me?
Here it is.
Yeah, start with
Look,
you.
I think Twitter can be a really horrible place. And I think people are excited because he is sort of going to unleash the trolls, right? I think he is saying, you get to say whatever you want. I'm going to take away the guardrails. And for me, that is something that is a bit scary. And I
So you stand for free speech, but yet the moment we release the guardrails and allow people to actually say what they really want without being policed or without being censored, somehow that's anti-free speech? Is that somehow wrong? For the life of me, please explain to me how these women are the intellectual thinkers of our time. Why they have a show where people tune in to hear this nonsense.
the guardrails. And for me, that is something that is a bit scary. And I think it's going to be scary to a lot of women because there have been some surveys done, and 38% of women around the world have said that they have been on the receiving end of a lot of abuse on Twitter.
All right, let's talk about equality for a second, right? If you are participating in an online platform which you feel is abusive or harming you in some way, you have the freedom to not use that platform. You have the freedom to go use a different platform. You have the freedom to block those people. You have the freedom to not engage at all, right? And also, we live in a world where, sorry, there are some bad people in this world. And if you want to participate in the public world, if you want to go out and engage with other people and their ideas and talk about very controversial subjects and engage with these platforms, you're going to run into bad people. And you're going to have to suck it up and deal with it because that's the real world. There is no shield from reality. And no matter how many times these people try to tell you that they can protect you from bad people or people who disagree with you, they can't. So just because you don't live in the real world doesn't mean that everybody else has to comply to what you believe the world should be.
Have said that they have been on the receiving end of a lot of abuse on Twitter. 85% of women have said that they have seen the abuse. And what's interesting to me about Twitter is only 22% of adults are on Twitter in the world, and that's from a 2019 Pew study. And so Twitter is not the real world. And in fact, on Twitter, it is predominantly straight white men.
Here it is. Here it is. Listen when I tell you this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. These people are vampires. They suck and feed off of victimhood. They suck and feed off of oppression. They suck and feed off of those people who are considered to be the minority. Everything these people do, everything they talk about, is somehow boils down to somebody's being victimized, somebody's being oppressed, and they are the people who stand for them. Their whole lives revolve around this, and they are miserable. You have to be miserable that your everyday life is somehow boiled down to the fact that People are being oppressed. People are being mistreated. Listen to me when I say this. This is what they live for. They are vampires. They feed off of it. And the moment that oppression disappears and they no longer can point to somebody and say, we're a victim, their jobs are over. And they know this. This is why they have to continuously remind their audience that somebody's being oppressed, somebody's being a victim, and that they are here to speak on their behalf. But here it is, the straight white male. Listen very carefully what she's about to say here.
And in fact, on Twitter, it is predominantly straight white men. So when Elon Musk says, wow, this is about free speech, it seems to me that it's about free speech of straight white men. And so let them have it. Let them.
Okay. If this was about freedom of speech for straight black men or straight black women or straight Asian women or whatever, just change it from straight white male, right? Would they be making this argument? Would they be up here upset and saying, this is just about the voice of straight black men? No, they would not. You would not hear this argument. It is okay and it is verified to be racist and to be against white men in our country because they are not considered to be a minority group or an oppressed class. So it's okay to verify racism. It's okay to continuously be a racist as long as you're racist against the right race in 2022. This is where we are. And it's sad because these people just don't understand that this is the wrong path to take. This is idiotic. This is idiocy. And if we don't change, if we don't turn back from this nonsense, what we're doing is we are saying that it's okay to be racist as long as you're racist against the right type of people. Last time I checked, racism is wrong regardless of what group it's against. But here we are.
Speech of straight white men. And so let them have it. Let them just go at it. I enjoy the block button on Twitter. I think it has a real outsized influence in our world because politicians and celebrities are on it. And I think what may happen, quite frankly, with Elon Musk taking it over is that there'll be some other social media platforms that take over where real people are.
Real people. You hear what she's saying? Real people. Not fake. Apparently, all the straight white men are not real people. And therefore, maybe some other platform will create a space for real people. Because real people are the oppressed. Real people are the victims. Real people are the blacks and the Chinese and the women. Those are real people. You hear? See, she doesn't understand what she's saying. She doesn't think these things through and really dissect exactly what she's putting out into the universe. No, she's not. She's just talking, right? She's just using her talking points because she knows that she can say these things and get away with it. This is retarded. Okay, maybe not the right word to use, but this is just horrible.
Talking, and there'll be real freedom of speech because I'm kind of
Real
tired
freedom
of
of
billionaires taking over our modes of communication. You've got Jeff Bezos taking over the Washington Post. You've got Mark Zuckerberg taking over Facebook and Instagram. Now you've got Elon Musk taking over Twitter. You know, I guess billionaires want to take over free speech, and I'm not here for.
How is it taking over free speech by buying a platform and using the same guidelines that the government used to allow people to express themselves? Last time I checked, that makes sense. Or am I wrong here? And here she going about billionaires and billionaires. How about the billionaires? Please, if you're listening, buy The View and shut it down. Buy ABC or whoever you need to buy and shut this nonsense down because this is not offering anything to the world. This is not enlightening anybody. This is raising people up and causing people to be discontent and always looking to find something to be upset about. This is nonsense.
Elon Musk taking over Twitter. You know, I guess billionaires want to take over free speech, and I'm not here for it.
Sonny, I think there are a lot of.
All right. I really wanted to get that point out, but hear me and hear me well. And it's the last thing I'll say on this. These people need victims. They need people to be oppressed because if they don't have somebody to be a champion for, even though they are rich, even though they're doing very well for themselves, at the same time, they feel oppressed. Sometimes they feel attacked, right? Men get attacked. White men get attacked. Everybody gets attacked at some point in some shape, form, or fashion by somebody. Everybody's a victim and everybody's an oppressor at the same time. Just look at other countries which allow us to get very, very cheap products by use of their labor. There are so many different ways we can slice and dice this whole operation up to figure out who's oppressed. If you live in America today, I'm sorry to say it, but in some shape, form, or fashion, you are also an oppressor. So get off your high horse and stop trying to pretend as if everybody's just after you because you are X, Y, or Z. Get into the real world and decide to fight for what it is you believe in. And sometimes you're going to have to fight against some people who don't necessarily like you for stupid reasons. But that's life. Grow up. But here in America right now is one of the greatest times to be alive. So please stop it with this whole division of straight white men nonsense. All right, y'all. Peace and glory, everybody. Be peaceful and be great. I just had to get that off my chest. Till next time, everybody. Stay safe.
1 in a million to 1 billion. Too hot to be in the kitchen. I'll end up melting the ceiling.